Hello everyone, welcome back to the Traction YouTube channel. Now, Season 2 2023 is here on iRacing, which means new content. And in today's video, we're going to be checking out 3 new cars and 1 new track. So on the oval side this season, there's only 1 new piece of content, and that is the brand new late model stock car. Now this is going to replace the old Chevrolet Monte Carlo SS stock car, which is being retired. You're not going to be able to drive that in legacy mode. So the brand new late model is going to be what we're using in the official series. Now onto the road side, where there are 3 new pieces of content. Firstly, we'll talk about the cars. The first one is the Ray FF 1600. Now this car needs no introduction. It's been on the racing circuit since the 1960s. Powered by a 1.6 litre Ford engine, but there's no wings, there's no downforce, which means it's a bit of a handful. Now the next new car is the Renault Clio RSV. Now this Renault Clio Cup car has been around forever, since the early 2000s. Now just think of this car as the touring cars, but with a little bit less power. And I've no doubt this is going to be an absolute hoot in iRacing. So enough talking, let's get on track first of all with the Ray FF 1600. So we're here at Brands Hatch, Indy, possibly the perfect track for this car. Now firstly, before we actually go on track, I'll just show you the garage screen. There's not many things that you can change in here, so setup isn't going to be that important. So you can see there, not really a lot to change. Let's jump on track. Give you a listen to it first. So nice modern dashboard. Now, a couple of things to mention. Doesn't have a pit speed limiter. You need to lift off the accelerator or use the clutch to upshift. And then you need to blip on the downshift. Now, because this doesn't have any downforce, it's very much a momentum car. You just need to be very careful, very smooth with your inputs. It's actually a really fun car to drive though, but really, really tricky. You've got to be so careful, especially on these cold tyres, because they are not completely slick tyres. They do have tread on them. So turn 1 at Brands Hatch is a little bit tricky. We get the car nice and settled. So it's kind of a step up from the Formula V and a step below from the Skip Barber, I would say. So it's somewhere in between. Formula V obviously doesn't have your downforce. The Skip Barber does. They're kind of a mix between the two. It's going to be really good fun. We'll do a lap and I'll just give you a listen to the engine. What a fun little car this is. It really is a fun little car. It's going to be super exciting to race these in the official series. It's going to catch a lot of people out because it's not as easy to drive as you would think. It doesn't have a lot of power, but it doesn't have much grip either. So here we are then at Donington Park National in the Renault Clio RSV. Now we'll do the same again. We'll go into the garage. There's not much you can change in here. So setup isn't really going to be a huge factor during the race, which is a good thing. So take it out on track. Now I'll give you a listen. Now, one thing I don't like about it immediately is the length of time it takes for the RPMs to drop. Just takes forever. I'm not keen on that. Now this does have a pit speed limiter. So this is front wheel drive. Like a mini touring car. So it's got all the front wheel drive characteristics of the touring cars on iRacing. The understeer and how it feels at the front. Just a bit less power. Which should make the racing superb. It's got loads of turning, like initial turning. A little bit of oversteer there on the brakes. Tyres super cold. And again, this is very much a momentum car. Same with the Toyota GR86, the Global Mazda, the FF1600 now, Formula V. They're all momentum cars where it pays you to be super smooth. But what I like with this, you can take liberties with the curbs. It is pretty softly sprung. It's not going to hurt you too much. Right, let's do a lap and I'll give you a listen. And there we go. That's a couple of laps around Darlington National in the Renault Clio. This is going to be a fun series. I can feel it. This is going to be a really fun series. It's probably going to be carnage, but it's going to be a really fun series to race in. So we've had a look at the new cars. Now we're going to have a look at the new track. So this track is Herath, and it is located in Spain. 2.7 miles long. Now, I had never seen cars racing around Herath. I've watched MotoGP and World Superbikes racing here many times, but I've never actually saw cars driving around this track. But let's take a look and see what it's like to drive. So let's take a couple of laps around Herath. Now, as usual, iRacing have done an incredible job with the circuit. It looks beautiful. Now, as I mentioned, I'd never actually seen race cars racing around Herath. I've seen MotoGP and World Superbikes, but never actually cars. So we'll just have a nice steady drive around. I've never driven it until today, so I don't know the layout properly. I don't know how to approach it at speed. But I'll just give you a look at the circuit. But what I will say though is that it flows beautifully. It really does. And I don't know the the quickest way around here yet, so you'll have to forgive me. We're approaching the section now where the layout can change, so straight ahead there, I'm presuming that's where the motorcycles would go, the MotoGP and World Superbikes, but we're going to take this chicane here, and the exit of this chicane is like a double right. At speed, it's incredible, it really is superb. And then we're coming down to start a new lap now. Now, I've got to say that I had no idea that this circuit would be as good as it is. I absolutely love it. It flows beautifully, like it really does. I don't know it yet properly. I just think it's got everything. For me, it's got absolutely everything. Oh, just about kept that on track there. And the exit of this turn here is so important onto the back straight. Oh, it's just amazing. It's just amazing. I have never been so excited to drive a new track. Not before it was released, because I didn't realise how good it was, but now I'm actually driving it. I cannot wait to race this track. I really cannot wait. And in any car, I think this track will be brilliant. Sometimes a track will suit a slower car, but I think any car on this track will be fantastic. There's this double right. Oh, it's just unbelievable. Really is unbelievable. And that's Herath. Quite possibly my new favourite track on iRacing. Bravo iRacing. Bravo. So that's the new content for Season 2 2023. Admittedly, it's a little bit light on the oval side with just one new car. But on the road side, well, they have been spoiled. We've got the new FF 1600 Formula car, which is going to be brilliant. That's going to be a rookie series. Be careful, that car is tricky to drive. The new Renault Clio, that's going to be a barnstormer of a series. That's going to be incredible, super, super popular. And Herath, well, I think I found my new favourite circuit. A couple of other things worth mentioning. The new iRacing UI has had a bit of an update, so it just looks a little bit more polished. And there's now an option to auto refuel your car, so that should make things a little bit easier if you're doing races which require a pit stop for fuel. But Season 2 on iRacing is looking like it's going to be superb, although still no rain. So let us know down below in the comments what you think of the new build and what are you most excited to race. As always, thanks for watching. Keep it pinned.